common theme throughout this whole thing is that I have no idea what I'm doing. Just kind of making it up as I go along. And with this anvil thing, I guess it is an anvil, not an anvil thing. I just use this plumber strap stuff to kind of get it secured to the stump as best you can. Although this plumber strap stuff is not going to be as best you can, that's for sure. Just kind of use what you got. Drywall anchor screws. Just kind of make do, you know. And it'll work for the most part, probably. Oh! My rationale that I'm making up right now is it's been a whole season since I last used this thing. So this thing's been rained on. So oh! Okay, so what we're doing here is we're essentially making a bead, sorta. But you see how thin that is? You know, the metal's really thin, and that just doesn't look good for armor. You want your armor to be thick, substantial, you know, legit. So that's what this little fold around the edge, and I'm gonna do this on all the pieces. That's why I cut so far outside the edge. This is why. It gives it a little extra strength too. I don't think I need to, you know, reiterate that, but I will, I guess, that this armor is not going to be like SCA compatible or whatever, you know. So if you get the right thickness of filing cabinet, it might be okay for SCA armor, not a helmet, but it's definitely not okay for Buhurt armor. Now, with this armor, you'll be better off fighting more like this. You could put some relief cuts on these curves to kind of help it along, but avoid relief cuts at all costs. It just adds a spot for the metal to tear, and it weakens your ultimate piece. You know, it'll just get a little wrinkled, and it'll smooth back out, and the metal will shrink on itself, which I think is a strengthening. I'm a little out of practice. That corner's bad. Now, that's got a nice tasteful thickness right there along the edge there. So what I'm gonna do when I, you know, finish this up right now, I'm gonna try anyway. I'm gonna try to avoid hitting the very edge and just kind of focus on hitting next to the edge, so then I don't, you know, hammer that crease flat. Like I said, I'm gonna try, you know. And I don't quite agree with Yoda. I think trying is worth a lot. Do or do not, there is no try, whatever. No, I mean, you can half do something and it's better than not doing it. Like, stupid. 900 and wise, yeah, right. More like 900 and senile, stupid. Talk about a greenhorn, huh? More like a green ear, jeez. You know, I don't think Yoda's so much green as he is a tin horn. That's my personal take on that. I know, hot take, whatever. I'm a rebel. Rebel Alliance. Alright, so... which, you know, I don't think Yoda ever was a rebel. I think he was purely Republic. The Republic fell, and he went and lived on Dagobah like a stupid coward freak. Alright, so this corner is about to be either really good or really bad, as these two bevels are gonna mate. And now's a good time to set a precedent for the rest of the outfit, the costume. Okay, so they're made in kind of three-dimensionally, which is fine. One's gonna go over the other. Develop a consistency between, like, are you gonna do the top and bottom and then the sides? Or are you gonna do the sides first and then the top and bottom? It probably matters which one you do first, but just try to be consistent with it. I think I'm gonna pop the sides in first since I already did this side, and so this side's gonna, or the bottom or top. This is going to go over this. So I'm gonna try to pop this in. Okay, you can drop that on top of it. And yeah, it doesn't take much force. Honestly, this hammer I'm using is even maybe too big. The ball peen, I made all of my other armor. It actually fell apart. The handle came off the head. I still have the head though. I got that ball peen when I was 13. I was 13 years old. This is Ace Hardware. You can do the whole thing with just this hammer. Of course, you only need this hammer. Not much of a revelation. All right. And I would recommend, and I would ordinarily do all of the creasing with the hatchet, which I'm sure is a absolutely bonkers thing to do. Hitting the back of the hatchet for the creasing, but it works so well. If you have a chisel or something that you already have or have purchased, I'm sure it's much better. I just like the shape of this here because you can get pretty specific with it. You have a lot of control. $5 hammer. So one of the things you have to watch out for when buying your $5 hammer is it's gonna be worth $5. Okay, it's gonna be a piece of junk. I'm betting if I had taken longer than 4 seconds in picking this hammer, I would have been able to find one on the rack that did not look like this. Yeah, I did go back to find a better one and they were sold out. Someone got a real need for ball peen hammers, I guess. So we're gonna try to correct that. So I may have mentioned this before. I'm doing these inside out on accident. I just didn't really think about it. My recommendation with bare metal is on the outside, and the part you're hitting is the painted part. So then the paint's on the inside and you get the nice raw metal on the outside. It just looks nicer. So I was a little upset with myself, but I think it's gonna look cool and I think it'll be okay. Let's see. I went too far. Yeah, I'm gonna make it work. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Hey, good as new, huh? Oh. Dude, what the? You don't need to use a press like this. You can just use your hammer and an anvil. I just received it as a gift, so I figured might as well. Look at that already, huh? That was a bad one. But I'm not using this piece anyway, so I don't care. So this isn't really a tutorial, as you can see. These are not best practices. My fire pit is a washing machine barrel. My quenching bucket is a kiddie pool. I don't know how necessary all this is, but there's a lot of better resources on how to do this. I'm just kind of presenting how approachable it can be if you want to do it. It doesn't take much. So what I got here is some used motor oil. I use it as a lubricant on a lot of my tools. I've never done this before, but we'll see what happens. Just gonna oil up a little bit. Oh crap. That could have been worse. Just add a nice protective layer. Keep it from rusting more than you want it to. It's not gonna stay super shiny like that for a while. Or for very long, I mean. Absorb. I know it looks slick, looks shiny, a little too shiny, a little too slick. That'll all fade. At this point, the armor is pretty much ready for strapping, just about done. Just doing some final shaping, making sure everything is symmetrical. So up next comes the minor leather working that goes into the strapping and edging. And in part 3, I will show how all that is done, as well as everything that is not metal on the outfit. So a little bit of sewing, a little bit of fabric work, and a lot of thrifting. So coming up in part 3, the final part. See you then.